Hello everyone, I'm Neha from ixamBee. I welcome you all to today's session. Friends, please subscribe to our channel and press on the bell icon so that you can get all the latest updates with respect to the upcoming government examinations, the notifications which will come out with respect to those examinations. So for that, if you subscribe to our channel iXamBee or you press on the bell icon, then you will be getting regular notifications, updates with respect to all the government exams. Apart from that, friends, you can contact us for any doubt, any query, any clarification. So you can contact through email ID, that is hello@ixamBee.com, or you can give a call on the number displayed on the screen, and you can visit our website www.ixamBee.com. We are there to help you out in the best possible way. So friends, don't forget to subscribe the channel iXamBee. So today in this video, I'll be discussing about the IBPS SO Law Officer examination. And as we are aware that the tentative schedule, the exam notification, the schedule which has been provided tentatively by IBPS is that the prelim examination that will be conducted on 18th and 26th of December 2021 for the specialist officers, and the main examination that will be conducted on 30th of January 2022 for the specialist officer. So the exam for the specialist officer, that is in two phases, the preliminary examination, that is prelims, and the main examination. And in case you want any further clarification with respect to the exam, like the subjects or topics to be studied or how to go about it, so you can click on a link given in the description of this video, wherein you can watch a video which we have already released earlier. So in case you have missed to watch that, you can watch it through that link in the description box and get yourself aware about the topics to be covered for the IBPS SO examination. iXamBee is providing an exclusive online course for IBPS SO Law Officer examination. There are certain features, certain highlights of this exclusive online course which iXamBee is providing to its students, and these special features are like there are regular guidance which are provided to the students. Exclusive mock tests are provided. These mock tests are very important for the preparation of any exam because it gives us a good practice about the subjects we study. Then there are personalized study plans which are provided to the students, and apart from that, a regular performance monitoring is also done, and one-on-one sessions with the faculty that is also made available to the students, so students can avail all these facilities being provided to them in the exclusive online course. Apart from these features which this exclusive online course has, it also has those features which we have in our regular courses, like there are video lessons which are being provided for all the subjects. Then there are study notes which are crisp to the point and very exam oriented. So it will help you to study your subjects nicely. Then there are practice sessions, and these practice tests include MTs, mock tests, then section test, chapter test, CCQs which are provided for the videos. So there are a number of practice tests which are made available to the students, so that again, as to remind you, so that the students they get a good practice hang of the subjects they are studying. Then there are live sessions being conducted by the expert faculty, wherein you can clarify all your doubts. And last but not the least, interview guidance is provided by our expert interview panel, wherein they guide you, they groom you for facing the interviews. You can avail the opportunity of enrolling in this exclusive online course for IBPS SO Law Officer, and at the same time you can also avail the opportunity of getting flat 32% off, not only on this IBPS SO Law Officer examination course which we are providing, but on all other online courses which ixamBee provides. So there is a Navvijay special offer which is going, in which we at ixamBee are providing flat 32% off on all the online courses. You can use the coupon code that is displayed on the screen and get yourself enrolled in the course. And for that, you can contact us on the number displayed on the screen, or you can visit our website. Moving ahead with today's subject, today I'll be discussing about Companies Act 2013. This subject is quite important for the IBPS SO Law Officer examination, as it covers a good number of questions. Under the Companies Act, I'll be discussing about dividends in today's video. Term dividend that has been defined under section 2 subsection 35 of the Companies Act. So what does this dividend means? इस dividend जो word है इसका मतलब क्या है? So in simple, very simple layman terms, if we understand, dividend means the profits, the share of the profits. So when the company it earns profit, it does not retain all those profits in its business, but apart from that, it distributes a part of that profit, or a part out of that profit, among its shareholders. And that distribution of profit by the company with its shareholders, that is done in proportion to the amount of the paid up on the shares which are held by them. Okay, so if we understand it, so dividend, that's the distribution of profits by the company with its share. Okay, so this dividend is actually a way to share the profits with the shareholders. Now there are basically three types of dividends: interim dividend, final dividend, and preference share dividend. So talking about the interim dividend, it is actually paid by the company during the financial year and before the completion of the financial year. So basically interim dividend, it can either be paid during the financial year or before the completion of the financial year. This interim dividend needs to be paid by the company. Final dividend, that is being declared by the company at its annual general meeting, and once this dividend is being declared, it actually becomes a debt for the company which is enforceable against it. Preference share dividends, they are paid to the preference shareholders. Now the board of directors of the company, they recommend the dividend amount to the shareholders, and these shareholders, they declare the dividend by passing an ordinary resolution in the AGM, that is the annual general meeting of the company. Once the dividend that is declared by the company, then it has to be deposited within 5 days in a separate scheduled bank account, and then it needs to be paid within 30 days from the date of declaration. It needs to be paid to the shareholders. Then the dividend that needs to be declared out of what? So the dividend that can be declared by the company out of the current year profit of the company, but that has to be done after depreciation. Then it can be out of accumulated profits of the company, but again it has to be done after depreciation. And apart from that, it can be done in both of the above ways. And lastly, the money which the government may provide in pursuance of any guarantee being given. The depreciation, that has to be as per Schedule 2 of the Companies Act. Now there might be instances when the company does not have enough profit, or there are inadequate profits, or their profits are absent in a current year, then in that case the dividend that can be declared out of the free reserves of the company. But in that case, certain compliances, or there are certain conditions which the company needs to follow. That is, that dividend rate that should not be less than the average rate of last 3 years. Okay, then the amount which will be drawn from the reserve, that should not be less than 1/10, and this 1/10 should be not less than 1/10 of what? That is the paid capital and free reserves. Then amount drawn, that should be used for setting off the loss. The amount that will be drawn, that has to amount drawn, that has to be used for the setting off the loss of the current year, and after that only any dividend that can be declared. And after the withdrawal, the reserve balance, that should not be less than 15% of the paid up capital. Talking about the interim dividend, that may be declared by the board of directors, and as I already mentioned, it is paid during the financial year, or it can be paid at any time during the period from the closure of the financial year till the holding of the AGM, that is the annual general meeting. This interim dividend, that can be paid by the company out of the surplus in the profit and loss account, or from the profits of the financial year for which the interim dividend that has to be declared, or it can be out of the profits which is generated in the financial year, and that will be till the quarter which will be preceding the very date of the declaration of the interim dividend. Payment of dividend. So the dividend that needs to be paid in cash, and it can be either through check, warrant, or electronic mode. So how this payment dividend has to be paid? The payment that has to be paid in cash, and it can be in either of these three ways. It has to be paid to the, obviously, the registered shareholder, his banker or order, and this has to be done through the capitalization of the profits. So capitalization of the profits, that has to be done, and that can be done by the issue of bonus shares. So unpaid dividend account. So in case if the company declares the dividend, but it actually has not been paid, or it has not been claimed within 30 days from the very date of declaration, then in that case the company, that within 7 days from the very expiry of this period of 30 days, so after the expiry of this 30 days, within 7 days from then, the company that needs to transfer the total amount which is actually unpaid or unclaimed, that will be transferred to the unclaimed dividend account of the company. And in case the company makes a default in transferring the unclaimed or unpaid dividend amount, then in that case the company will be liable to pay interest from the date of default, that will be at the rate of 12% per annum. Within 90 days of the transfer to the unclaimed dividend account, the details with respect to the name, last known address, or unpaid dividend, that needs to be published on the website of the company, as well as the any website which the central government may approve. Then the amount which will be transferred to the unclaimed dividend account, if that amount remains unclaimed for say a period of 7 years, then it needs to be transferred along with all the relevant shares, etc., to the IEPF, that is Investors Education and Protection Fund. Punishment for failure to distribute dividends. So when the company has declared the dividend, but that has not been distributed, then every director of the company will be liable for a punishment of imprisonment of 2 years, and apart from that also they will also be liable for a fine which will not be less than 1,000 rupees, and that will be for every day during which that default continues. And the company, it shall be liable for paying an interest at the rate of 18% per annum during the period for which actually the default will be continuing. Now comes the Investors Education and Protection Fund, that is commonly known as IEPF. This IEPF that has been established for the promotion of investors. It should be education. So this IEPF that has been established for the purpose of promotion of the investors' education and protection of the interest of the investors. Then the central government will be constituting an authority which will be administering the funds of the IEPF, and it will be consisting of a chairperson, other members which will not be exceeding 7 in number, and the chief executive officer. The account of the fund that has to be audited by the Controller and Auditor General of India, that is CAG, and the audited account which will also include the audit report that has to be forwarded by the authority to the central government. Then the committee for recommending the IEPF activities, that will be consisting of Executive Director of SEBI holding Office of Investor Assistance and Education, then 2 other officials of the SEBI, and lastly 5 other members who will be having an expertise in securities market, investors grievance redressal, etc. Then there are amounts which needs to be credited to the fund. So the act provides that what all amount needs to be credited to this IEPF fund. So basically the grants which are provided by the central government, or the contributions by the SEBI, donations which are made by the central or state government or any the company, then amount which has been transferred from the unpaid dividend account of the company, then net proceeds from the sale of unclaimed securities, security deposits, amount in the investors protection fund, etc. So there is a list which has been provided under the Companies Act, which entails all the amounts which needs to be credited to the fund, and the amount which is being credited to the fund that needs to be utilized in for a certain specific purpose. So the act also provides the list of activities wherein those funds needs to be utilized. So if you look at few of them are like it has to be utilized for refunding the unclaimed dividends, mature deposits, debentures, or the application money which are due for refund, interest, etc. Then reimbursement of legal expenses which might be incurred in pursuing class action suits by the members or debenture holders or depositors of the company, may be sanctioned by the tribunal, or the promotion of investors education, their awareing them or protecting their interest, providing them educational activities like seminars, training to the investors so as to make them aware. So this is the way in which the funds in the account that needs to be utilized. So friends, this was all about today's topic. Hope you have got a clear idea about dividends under the Companies Act. Friends, if you want us to discuss any specific topic, any specific subject in law, then you can mention that in the comment section. We will be more than happy to take that up. Before I end this video session for today, I will request you all that friends, please do subscribe to our channel ixamBee. Please subscribe and click on the bell icon so that you can get the latest updates, notifications, everything about the government exams, So please stay tuned to our channel for more videos with respect to government exams, their preparations, important topics, etc. Thank you everyone. Have a great day.